Hello vinyl community, it's Bill here again, and time for another video. And this time I'm going to be taking part in Richard McCook's My 3 Years in the VC contest. So I'll put a link to Richard's contest and the introductory video in the description below. And I would encourage you all to become subscribers of Richard McCook's wonderful channel and to take part in this contest. I think it's still open until 14th February 2022. So I think because it's a 3-year anniversary, there are 3 sections to this and 3 artists or 3 albums appearing in each. So I'm going to start with some big hitters, and his part 1 was to show from your collection and artist or band that you have multiple vinyl albums or multiple albums, to choose the best of an artist and your least favorite. Let's not call it the worst of the artists. Let's call it the least favorite, because a lot of these albums are still very good. Or are they? Without further ado, let's kick off with my favorite group of all time, and it's The Who. And I think this is the pinnacle. The rock operas are wonderful, but just the quality of the tracks on Who's Next is just mind-blowing. And yes, a very iconic cover art as well. But it's the list of songs with the anthems, rock anthems here. So we've got Baba O'Reilly opening side 1 with that wonderful sort of violin or fiddle outro, and yeah, all the fun and games with loops and synthesizers, etc. And then we've got Bargain and Love Ain't for Keeping. It does contain a song that I'm not hugely keen on, which is John Entwistle's My Wife. The Song Is Over is again a wonderful song. And then flip to side 2. Yeah, the whole of side 2 is just classic rock at its finest. Start off with Getting in Tune. We move on to Hippie Gypsies and Going Mobile, and then the wonderful Behind Blue Eyes, and then we finish off with Won't Get Fooled Again, and that brilliant or blood-curdling scream from Roger Daltrey. But Messrs Townsend, Daltrey, Entwistle and Moon at their peak. Just a wonderful, wonderful album. And I think, are we getting more or a revised Lifehouse album later this year? Watch the press for that one. Don't know where I read that, but there you go. So, best of the catalogue, best of one of the best groups of all time. Who's Next? And then it was a toss-up between 2, Endless Wire and this one, but It's Hard wins out for my least favorite. It's got a couple of good tracks on it, but yeah, I think I must have been so disenchanted with this that I can't really think of how many of the other songs go, but the best 2 are Athena and Eminence Front. And why did I fall for that? Again, that's a bit downbeat. And Cry If You Want. Yes, I'm crying after purchasing this one. So I've had it in the collection since 1982. So yeah, just 10 years, just over 10 years after the wondrous Who's Next, we have It's Hard. So it shows you, how quickly fortunes can change. Sticky Fingers is, it was the first Stones album I ever owned. It's the one with the zipper, but yeah. And Andy Warhol artwork. Let's take out the portrait of the band, and we get in focus the track listing. The Stones have dropped Brown Sugar from their live shows now. I think they feel it's no longer PC. I don't think it was PC when it came out, but yeah. And when have the Stones ever worried about being politically correct? But yeah, Brown Sugar is a huge hit single. And that's followed by Sway, Wild Horses, that was recorded at Muscle Shoals. And then we've got Can't You Hear Me Knocking, with its wonderful Santana-esque outro from Mick Taylor. And You Got to Move is just sublime. But yeah, that's very bluesy. And then turn over to side 2, and we open with Bitch. And then again, I Got the Blues, Sister Morphine, Dead Flowers, and Moonlight Mile. Just another Moonlight Mile down the road. We move on to my least favorite, which contains one of my favorite Stones tracks of all time. So I love Harlem Shuffle. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful cover. And yeah, I think One Hit to the Body is maybe the other one that I kind of know, but like It's Hard, since I bought it, yeah, it's hardly been on the turntable any length of time at all. And what were they thinking of for this cover art? I think Bill Wyman's expression sums it up. I think I probably bought this for Harlem Shuffle alone. And yeah, probably my most expensive purchase of a single. There you have it, my least favorite Stones album. And then the biggest hitters of them all, the toppermost of the poppermost, we have the Beatles, and I've gone for Abbey Road as my most favorite. Iconic cover again. And yeah, I think the Volkswagen is in a museum in Germany somewhere. But yeah, we open with Come Together, then Something. If you've watched the Get Back documentary films, you'll see them recording Maxwell's Silver Hammer with hammer and anvil. And then, yeah, Ringo's Octopus's Garden. I think that's one of his strongest Ringo numbers in the whole Beatles catalogue. Although I do like Act Naturally as well. And we've got 2 fantastic George Harrison compositions in Something and Here Comes the Sun. And then we've got that sort of medley of numbers, including Mean Mr. Mustard, who's a real character, actually. He's, I think Lennon's delving into, some of the obscure stories from the newspapers. and it moves through Polythene Palm, and she came in through the bathroom window, which I think is referred to in Craig Brown's Beatles 1, 2, 3, 4 book. And then we have the final track is called The End. And yes, that was the last track that the Beatles ever recorded, because you have to remember that Abbey Road was recorded after Let It Be, although Let It Be wasn't released till about a year, well, 6 months to a year after this. But the Beatles' Abbey Road, fantastic album, but I'm going to choose my least favorite because I think it's half an album, and that's the Beatles' Yellow Submarine. Yeah, even side one, we've got Yellow Submarine, Only a Northern Song, and it finishes with All You Need Is Love. But the second side, so you only ever play side one. Second side is the original film score composed and orchestrated by George Martin. So yeah, George Martin must have got some really nice royalties by having his music on this this album. I think George Martin is one of the reasons that the Beatles became so mega. I think if they've been produced by a different record producer, I don't think we would have seen the best of the Beatles. So yeah, George Martin is definitely the fifth Beatle as far as I'm concerned. Let's move on to albums that I'd like to own on vinyl. I must say that primarily it's because I'd like to have the artwork on the vinyl. But Gorillaz' Plastic Beach, I think, is a very strong album. Lots of nice collaborations, but yeah. White Flag, Rhinestone Eyes. I love Superfast Jellyfish and the breakfast cereal and free toy concept. And yes, I think this is a really good concept album as well. And Plastic Beach and On Melancholy Hill. But yes, this is extremely highly recommended, Gorillaz Plastic Beach. And I think the vinyl editions have slightly different artwork, or maybe different, you know, I think this is a primarily red, and I think the artwork on the vinyl one is primarily blue. I might have got that wrong. But yeah, cartoon band at their height, I think. So that's the first one I'd like to own on vinyl. Next up is Cream's Disraeli Gears, because I think the CD being so small doesn't do that psychedelic art much justice at all. But the song listing here, you know, Strange Brew, Sunshine of Your Love, and Tales of Brave Ulysses. And then a third one is Family's Bandstand. And yeah, the vinyl copy of this with the cover with the Perspex sort of title screen is great. But this has got one of my all-time favorite songs, which is My Friend the Sun. Now, word of warning, very controversial for at least two, if not three, of the bands that I have chosen for, you know, I only need a best of, rather than, you know, the purple patch of these artists or all all their albums. I think it's maybe an age thing. I think it's maybe to do with when you get into music. So first one I'm going for, this is maybe not so controversial, but I'm going with Complete Madness. track listing here is fantastic. There's not a dud on it, I think. We've got Embarrassment, Shut Up, My Girl, Baggy Trousers, It Must Be Love, The Prince, Bed and Breakfast Man. I can't remember how that goes, but Night Boat to Cairo is very strong. House of Fun, One Step Beyond. You get great pictures of the singles. Suggs and Co, Complete Madness, and This Is All I Need. I haven't said how wonderful Richard McCook's channel is, but he's the king of glam rock. He loves ABBA, T-Rex, David Bowie, but his record library is very wide. He's got all those Top of the Pops albums, the ones that were the sort of not the original artists singing the hits of the time. And he's got quite a good music for pleasure collection as well. And I really enjoyed some of the collaboration videos he's done with James Griffiths. So James is not going to be very pleased with me mentioning this next band, as You Only Need the Best Of. So we're going with Squeeze, singles 45 and under. Look at that for a track listing. And again, I think this album is so perfect as an album rather than a collection of hits that, yeah, I don't think I need any more than this. Pulling Muscles from the Shell, Up the Junction, Cool for Cats. Yeah. James mentions how good they are at storytelling, and I think that's very true. But with the quality of that best of album, I think I'd be looking at the rest of the catalogue and saying, yes, the singles are the best 2 or 3 tracks from each album. There might be 2 more tracks that I would really enjoy. So that's controversy number 1. But yeah, there's got to be a vinyl community backlash against me for this next one. Dare I show it? I'm going with the Kinks. And I love this golden hour of the Kinks. And again, I think this is a perfect album. But yeah, we've got Days, Autumn Almanac, Waterloo Sunset. I'm not keen on Dedicated Follower of Fashion. I think it's a bit trite. Did I say that? Dead End Street's wonderful. Set Me Free. And yeah, we've got Till the End of the Day, Sunny Afternoon. And it's quite interesting that on side 2, they've waited for side 2 before you get You Really Got Me, which is one of my all-time favorites, and All Day and All of the Night, as well as Shangri-La and See My Friends. Really, really, really love this Kinks album and their sort of golden hour, the best of the Kinks. And I don't know why I didn't investigate some of their other albums, which I know are held in high regard. But every time I think of investigating them, I think, this is such a great album. Do I need to know any of the lesser well-known tracks by the Kinks? Having said that, I've got 2 best of the Kinks. I've got on CD this Kinks Ultimate Collection, which has got, yeah, more in chronological order. Plus they've got David Watts and Stop Your Sobbing, plus one of my daughter's and mine favorite Kinks tracks, which I have the single of, which is Supersonic Rocket Ship. I think the lyrics to Supersonic Rocket Ship are just fantastic. And so yeah, there's yeah, Well-Respected Man on here, and Death of a Clown by Dave Davis, and Susanna's Still Alive by Dave Davis. but and Come Dancing, which is quite a delightful song. And I think, which of these two Kinks albums would I choose? It's definitely The Golden Hour of the Kinks. So that's my entry to the contest, and I hope, Richard, that you get lots and lots of contest entries and lots more subscribers as a result too. But thanks for watching. I'll be back soon.